Good morning, everyone. Kansas Sports HQ here. Your host, Dave Bush, episode 43. We're going to talk to Joe Siwa with the Corn Belt League regarding their Summer Collegiate Baseball League and the Summer Ball Showdown. We're excited to have Joe with us. Sheldon, Sean, how are you guys this morning?
Good.
Good?
Workout in is solid.
Everybody's kicking off with the rain.
It's here early.
I guess. Maybe Hartman can get some Cafe Mocha lean body in here if he watches these. Who knows? But we're excited to have Joe with us. His son, Casey, afraid of the spotlight, but a big part of what he does. We're excited to chat with them about their league up in Omaha, Nebraska. And they also have been with the Summer Ball Showdown since its inception. And it's always a great experience. So here we go. We'll see. Joe, how are you today?
Hey, good, Dave. Thanks for having me on the show. Sheldon, good to see you again, and glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah, nice to see you as well.
Yeah, so you were saying earlier that Casey's hiding back there. Casey gets to answer all the phone calls because, we're talking to the commissioner of the Corn Belt League in Omaha. So, Joe, kind of tell us about you and the league and what you guys do.
Yeah, the Corn Belt League is going on its 11th year here. We just had our 10-year anniversary, and like I said, my son has been doing a great job the last few years coordinating the league and getting the players lined up and organizing things. So, but he likes to be in the back burner a little bit, and I guess so do I. Really, we're not really the people that want the light for this. This is all about the college kids and what we're trying to develop here in Omaha. So we're excited to have the Corn Belt League going on its 11th season. So we're excited.
And you've said that you've expanded. How many times have you expanded over the course of those 11 years?
To let you know, 10 years ago, we started here with 3 local teams here in town. And we added some teams that were outside the area that traveled in. So we were with 6 squads total. Um, Following year, we added 6 teams in Omaha. We were at 8 teams last year, going 10 years into it. And this is our next expansion. We're up to 9 teams this season. So we're excited to get the 2026 summer season ready to go here with 9 squads.
Nice.
Man,
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I think there's quite a few local kids that are seeing. It's a great opportunity for them to come back home and play some summer baseball here. But the word has gotten out nationally, and schools are understanding what we're trying to do for their summer or for their programs through our summer development plan. So I think it's been a nice fit for the schools as well as what we're trying to grow here in Omaha.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, we definitely appreciate what you guys are doing. Obviously, with the KCLB and you guys there, very similar in the way that things are running and how you guys are trying to operate in comparison to how we are as well. There's not a lot of good quality collegiate leagues that are around the country. There's a lot of them, but not a lot of good quality leagues that are around the country. So it's always refreshing to get to talk with you guys and learn and be able to implement and go back and forth and find different ways of making things happen for the boys. Because at the end of the day, that's why we do what we do, is trying to provide great opportunity for the guys to continue to develop and keep getting better. And there's a massive pool of athletes that are out there that are playing. It's just about, providing for them, and sometimes also trying to get them on the right track is a whole different convo, I think. But there's a lot that goes into it, and you guys are doing a really good job up there. So I'm happy to see you guys growing into it. Running all 9 of them is kind of a wild thing because that's a lot of responsibility. So why don't you kind of walk us through kind of how you guys have, how do you format everything? How do you guys go into, just how it's ran behind the scenes a little bit, right? What's your roster numbers? What's kind of the idea behind each roster? What's your format of your play on a weekly basis? How many games, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing with our league is that we felt the most important thing to do was to do something a little different than most summer collegiate leagues, and that's having all the teams based right here in Omaha, which would help save on the travel time and the players being on the road and competing out there. Our idea was to have them right here and then do some of the things that are important for them in the summertime. And that's, of course, get a job, make some money, work a little bit, and then hit the weight room hard and get themselves prepared for their upcoming fall season. So after speaking to quite a few college coaches and trying to put this Corn Belt League model together, the biggest thing was kind of limit the number of games that they really need to play, make them quality games, and then also get them ready and prepared for us when they come back to school. So our goal was to do that. And as we expanded teams, we understood that, you know what, this league is for every level college baseball player, from the junior college all the way up. And those kids, when they get on the field, they need those reps. They need to get game experience, and getting them the opportunity to get out there and develop brings confidence to them, and it helps prepare them to go back in for that upcoming season to show the coach that they've made their improvements. So I think that's probably been the biggest thing, is not overloading the game schedule and giving them an opportunity to really have a great summer experience. And I think there's a lot in Omaha. There's a lot for them to do here, and a lot of things that we can offer them to make it an experience and something they're going to remember down the road as well.
Definitely. Yeah, we there's been so many changes, I think, in collegiate summer ball over the last probably 5, but really over the last about 10 years, right? And you guys have been weathering that storm of all of the different outlooks and the different opinions and the different things, because even when I was playing, which seems like an eternity ago, if you weren't going to a place that was playing 45ish games, it was just like a no go. Like, people would not send guys out. And that trend has almost kind of flipped over to where it's the opposite, right? So now it's a lot of places are looking for a little bit less than that, and they're trying to take care of the guys a little bit more, working, like you said, quality over quantity. And the other parts of that too is, a lot of the old school coaches, not all of them, but a lot of old school coaches are somewhat phasing out of some of these college programs. So you're getting some new school guys that are in there that think a little bit differently, and they do things a little bit differently as well. So how are you guys kind of staying up on the recruiting aspect side of it, right? Because with 9 teams, what's kind of your rough roster size? How many games are you guys playing? And then how are you going about finding your players?
Yeah, so just like any summer program, it all starts, with having enough arms in the pitching aspect of the league. And our key is to try to minimize our roster sizes. So, again, you're a college baseball player. We want you getting reps on the field, not just sitting on the bench watching. So, our key is about 20 to 25 guys on a roster, and securing those arms early enough, knowing that those arms are here to develop and we're not trying to abuse those arms. So our biggest thing is, having a good 10 to 12 pitchers that are filling those spots. And they understand what their role is and they're getting their innings. And then on their off days, to mix in some of the new stuff, we are partnering with University of Nebraska Omaha, their pitching bio laboratory out there. Last year was our first year of partnership with them, and it went over really well with our pitching staff. Those kids could go in there and get all the analytics that they needed and kind of have a program designed ready for them so they know what their strengths and weaknesses are, and they could work on that on their off days, knowing exactly when they were going to be pitching, here, organizing that with our coaches and them being on top of that. So that's made a big difference in the league. And like you said, I think it all stems down to the youth tournaments and the select teams and the travel ball teams that are constantly playing every weekend, game after game, and really not getting that practice and that and getting the fundamentals down. They're great athletes. The kids are out there great, but they're just competing and grinding all the time. And I think summer baseball has found that out, that the number of games isn't as important as the quality reps, like you were saying. So I think that's what we're giving them right now.
I love it.
You also have the strike zone up there. Talk about the strike zone and what that does for your league.
Yeah, so our academy here, Strike Zone Facility, has been here on 30 years now. So we've kind of established roots here in the community with all the programs, and we have never really put any of our own travel or select teams together. That's not what the Strike Zone's basis was. It was to really teach the game to coaches, the parents, and the players, breaking things down, understanding the proper way to play this game and to help players get to the next level. Not only physical part of it, but the mental part of the game, which is frustrating to most players. And I think that's what weeds them out down the road is not understanding that the mental toughness it takes to play this game. And again, that's what summer ball does to help that kid get over the hump and be ready for his upcoming season the next year after knowing he only maybe had 10 or 20, 30 at bats only for the season. This is giving him an opportunity to get himself that 80 to 100 at bats in the summertime and be ready to play. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. Talk a little bit more about your recruiting. Do you guys recruit internationally as well, or do you try to stay local? Is host family is a challenge for you? I mean, what are the mainstays on players that want to come in and play?
yeah, I think, with any summer league, including yourself, probably you would have to say that that host family is a challenge. Right now, our league houses about 50 out of state players. That's 50 committed families that love baseball, that want to be around the game, that want to be a part of the game. And they're understanding that these college kids need that home to go to day in, day out. We don't have the dormitories and everything like that all set up. So we rely on our local families to get involved, and getting the word out in the community is probably the biggest thing. And I think that's where the strike zone comes into play as well, because it serves as a big brother program almost to that baseball player, for them taking in a college kid and having somebody to spend some time with and maybe bounce some questions off them, especially that high school kid that's looking to go to the next level, to understand what it's going to take for him when he gets to college and what to expect. So I think the host family program has been the biggest thing that we're trying to grow again this off season. Um, and everything else I think has fallen into play. As far as the players coming in, it's been nice that the players that leave here get the word back to their coaches, and it just spreads. And I think when you do good things for the right reasons, it helps build. And we put everything out on the table to these kids to understand, like, you're not going to be drafted out of this league. That's not the goal of our summer baseball program. Our goal is to help develop you as a player and as a person. So not only doing the baseball stuff does our coaches do, but we also try to teach some leadership skills in this and give them something that they can walk away with, that they can use further in their life. So that's an important part of what we're trying to do. And as I'm getting older, I see that, and the teams that I played for in the summertime, the coaches were like that. They were mentors, and that's what we're trying to be to these kids as well.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job. I mean, it definitely shows. We've seen the teams that you've put together for Summer Ball Showdown, obviously coming and playing in that. Every single year that that's been rolling. So we've gotten to know some of those guys, and just through familiar people, people that have sent. I know that we've sent players there, and you guys have had players come here, and it's just gone back and forth, which is awesome. I think that's part of I would call it kind of the national outlook with a lot of players is they go to a league and they could love the league and they love the people there, but a lot of times that same player ends up bouncing somewhere else and they want to go experience something somewhere and a new place, new face, right? Like new stuff. And but the quality of the relationships is really what allows you to find more people in those places, right? Like, yeah, Johnny might be going to a different place, but he goes back and talks to his coaches and is like, no, we love Joe, it was awesome. So then they want to help bring some other guys there the following year, and then that process repeats itself, and it keeps growing, and you guys stay engaged with the players and the people that you have around the stuff that you're doing, and it shows. I mean, when you guys come here and play, like the people that are around your guys' organization are awesome, and so it's cool to see you guys expanding and definitely moving in a good direction, because I know how hard you guys are working behind the scenes on things, because we're doing it every day too. So I know exactly how much it takes, and it's a grind, but you guys are doing really a really good job. And for us, we share in a lot of the same, formatting things. I think we play in small towns that are all relatively close to each other, so there's not really much travel between them. You guys are in a centralized place to where you're all under the same roof, basically. So similar in thought process, I think there, and it allows, because kids don't want to travel in the summertime. That's another big shift that I've noticed over the last 10 years is, you see these kids, they travel all spring, right? They're on a bus going to all these different schools, different places, and it's fun for a while, and unless you're the one on the bus, and then it starts to get old after a little bit. So if you're playing a spring season of 50, 60 games, whatever it is, and then you turn around and go into the summer and you got another 40 plus games and you're living on a bus and you're doing it all over again, that wears you out. And that becomes dragging after a while. I've done it, so I know exactly what it feels like, but it's kind of a breath of fresh air to be able to kind of sit down in one place and just be able to work on your game, work on you, work on the stuff that you want to focus on, and not have to worry about traveling, 2 hours here, you play for 2.5, 3 hours, and then you hop on the bus again, travel another 2 hours. Like, it just turns into it's a marathon, and so that wears on players. So I like that you guys have done that. Talk to us a little bit about your partnership there. I think that's really cool. I think development is obviously something that's a big deal. What are some of the details behind what you're doing with, did you call it the Pitching Lab or Pro Lab? Sorry, I missed what it was
Yeah,
called.
it's the BioLab
Bio Lab,
laboratory
sorry.
that's on University of Nebraska Omaha's campus, and the kids have an opportunity to go through that and get their pre-screening done before the season, to just look at their shoulder and their arms and see the health status behind what they have, and also just to kind of know the metrics that it takes to pitch, to increase your velocity or your release points, to have a less injury prone. And the guys that put them through this program, it's a professional program similar to, the driveline program that
Hmm.
kids go to and spend their whole summers just training, and that's it. We're giving them an option to be able to do that and also be able to get on the field and compete. So it's been a great partnership there. A couple guys that work in the laboratory that are getting their master's degrees there are former players that have competed in our league, which is an awesome thing. These guys were from a different state who decided to come back to Omaha to get their master's and be a part of this program just because of their experience they had here when they were in the Corn Belt League. So to me, that's telling us we're on the right track doing that. And to add an extra service like that to these kids is a big deal, I think. Also, just the coaches that we hire, just like you do. I mean, we screen our coaches and go through an interview process, and each year we're giving an opportunity to coaches to come in here and be head coaches as well. But we hire many veteran coaches that have been around the game for a long time. Many of them that have coached in programs all across the country in the summertime, and they're coming to Omaha because of the description of the league and the philosophy that we have as an organization as a whole, that all these coaches are on the same page working together, knowing that they're all competitors and they want to win. And that's the idea of playing the game. You want to be a competitor. You don't play this game unless you want to win, but you also learn how to teach the game and develop that player. And I think that's what our players are seeing as they come to Omaha each year. They see the quality of coaching that's behind it. No different than us coming to you every year. The partnership that we built with you from the start is something that we want to continue doing because you're doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it for the kids, you're looking to grow, and you're putting on an experience for them. And that's why we come to it. We want to finish up our season on an experience that they're going to remember and that their quality that you put out there. So that's an important part of what we do. And that's a great way to kind of showcase the league as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So if I'm a player, talk to me about what Omaha has to offer, like little things to do around town. Like, I've been to Omaha a few times, but for the player that might be listening, when you share this and everything like that, what does Omaha offer during the season that helps add to the experience while I'm playing in your league?
What's their week gonna look like, right? Like, what all could they expect to be doing, Sunday to Sunday? Like, give us a little rundown of how you guys want it to be such a cool experience for them.
Yeah, well, first of all, these players, especially whether in-state or out-of-state players, they all have access to the academy here. So our 18,000 square foot facility, they come in here as individuals and work out, whether they're hitting the weight room, tunnels, the cages, or whatever they want to do. They come in here in small groups or individuals and get their work in. If they're not working, we supply these kids with job opportunities. We have about 20 to 30 companies that were on board last summer that would hire college athletes to work around their baseball schedule and give them a chance to work and make some money. And these are job opportunities such as golf courses that were hiring them, security guards down at the College World Series, lawn sprinkler companies, moving companies. And these kids were making great money doing some extra work during the day if they wanted to have some disposable income, and then go enjoy it down at the College World Series. You know,
Yeah.
Omaha's been the home of the College World Series for
Doesn't sound
umpteen
bad.
years, and it really, I think, every kid in our league last year, even we had a lot of international kids that came here last year, all got to go to a game and experience a College World Series game and see that atmosphere that they probably have only seen on television before.
Yeah.
So for them to come here, we think that's an inspiring to them to work harder to get to that goal. And we've had kids in this program at the junior college level who went on and played in the College World Series and competed at that level. So that's awesome to see. Um, that's an important part. But other job opportunities are working with the youth kids in Omaha.
Mm.
We have a huge summer tournament here for youth kids. So umpire, as you know, is a tough thing for any organizations and leagues around. So they hire a lot of these college kids to umpire and make some money as well. And then when they're not around baseball and doing stuff, I think they go to the number one attraction that Omaha has had for a long time, and I think the world, and that's the zoo here. The Henry Dorley Zoo
Mhm.
is an incredible place for these kids to go to on a day off and just go out and enjoy themselves. But we have access to golf courses, we have access to bowling alleys, we have a little bowling league that we do during the on Wednesday afternoons where the kids that want to come out, they can come out and get in a little bowling tournament with us. So again, it's just the camaraderie of all the teams working together. But when they step on the field, that side is their enemy, and they're competing for the next 2.5 hours to beat the crap out of them. And that's what we want to see. So when that happens, great. They walk away, they're buddies, and they're ready to go again. You know, if not, they're all heading back to their school, and we know that they've gotten better because of each other.
Yeah. No, that style and format is awesome. I think that, like what I was talking about earlier in the or earlier in the podcast, like the quality of the league is about, in our opinion, I think we all kind of share in this. It's about that experience for the player and doing things that are actually going to benefit them in their careers. How many games did you say you guys play?
So as of right now, we play a 30-game league schedule.
Yeah.
And what we do is at the end of the season, we have a double elimination tournament amongst the 9 teams here as well.
Yep.
And then at the halfway point, we do an in-state, out-of-state all-star game representing the top kids in the league, and they compete against each other. And on that same day, we do a military appreciation game with the military war dogs, which I think is very important. And you guys do the same thing out there. That's an opportunity for all the kids in our league who have family members that are military to represent their families playing in that game. And that's a special day for us as well and for our community. So that's important that we share that with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, definitely shout out to the War Dogs. We've done a lot of different things with them, and they
Yeah.
have been a part of, just all kinds of different pieces, a great organization, and just I, commend them on all of the work that they've been putting into their organization, because where it started 4 or 5 years ago when we first started working with them to where they are right now and traveling and all the different things. There's a lot of legwork that goes into that, and they're impacting communities all across the country, which I think is awesome. But yeah, no, to your point, the roughly around that 30 game schedule, that's essentially what we have kind of scaled back to as well, to try and figure out how do we pair these schedules with the guys to where it's enough time between games and certain lights to make sure that we're taking care of players' bodies and they have the opportunities to recover properly and do the things that they should be doing while also staying competitive and getting enough games. A lot of the old school guys out there are like, "Oh man, you're not playing enough games." And I'm like, "Well, you guys aren't paying attention to your players." And so there's just a lot of, little things that have changed over time and different pieces to it, which, right, wrong, indifferent, it's just kind of the adapt or die mentality. You got to find ways to make it make sense for players if you want your leagues to continue to move the right direction. And I've seen so many leagues across the country. I mean, so many that play half of that. Like they'll play, the 1 to 2 games a week kind of a thing. And I'm like, why? How? Like, how are you even getting better at that point? Because to me, that's way too less of what you should be doing. But then there's also some leagues out there. I looked at a couple of Northwood schedules here recently, and they have like 4 to 5 days off all summer long. And, that's a competitor of ours, quote unquote, in yours, I am sure, in the aspects of players all thinking that that's what they want to go and do, and that's perfectly fine if that's the journey where they want to get to. But it's a whole different mentality of baseball when you're looking at that schedule and you look at the logistics behind what that is. In my personal opinion, the experience there is completely different than what you guys are trying to offer or what we're trying to offer. And it's not, everybody's different. They have their opinions on how they want to go about it. But I think what you guys are doing is awesome. I think it's a great format. And I think that you guys are going to impact a lot of different lives in that process of allowing guys to develop and continue to grow in their game. And then also giving back to the community, right? Like getting involved with the different things that you have happening and just around that Omaha community. I think that's very special and an important piece too. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that as well.
Well, you also have like a pretty cool challenge during your like all-star game and military game. Talk a little bit more. Is it the corn cob contest or what is that?
That's kind of how we put this league into. It used to be called something else before that, and we turned it into the Corn Belt League for the fact that we are right here in the Midwest, and that's what we got growing around us. And I think people that come from out of state, we get a lot of kids from California that will drive into Omaha, Nebraska, get in with their host family, and they were expecting to see corn around the house. They don't understand how great of a community this is, and there is so much to do. But we definitely want to make sure those kids understand that this is how this started. So we have a corn cob eating contest at the All-Star game where the umpires and the players and coaches and the fans get together, and it's chow down that corn and see how quick you can get it down. And they have a great time, and we have corn throughout the whole season. I think our last All-Star game, we went through 400 ears of corn at the game,
Wow.
just through the kids coming in and enjoying themselves. So our big thing is to keep growing this and building a fan base of uh, baseball community that want to come out and see kids competing, reaching their dreams of maybe getting an opportunity to go play pro ball one day, but really to play at that college level at the highest level they can and to compete and be ready for their school. And it starts with those high school kids understanding that this was built for them. So when they have a chance to go play college ball anywhere across the country and the connections from these, I think last year we had 70, 60, 70 colleges that were represented in this league. This year, I think we're already at 50 and we're not even into January yet. So our goal is the more representation that we can give our local guys by having kids here, the more opportunities they're going to have to go play baseball as well, whether it's around the Omaha, Nebraska area or further out. That's a great, just keep competing and do something that you love to do and keep doing it as long as you can. And that's why we're here. We're a testament to that.
Well, I think we need a corn eating contest at the Summer Ball Showdown that's going to be featuring your guys. So we got to organize something for that. That would be a fun little promotion to have going on out there.
I think I'll be bringing the Nebraska corn to you, and we will definitely do
Yeah,
that
that's
thing.
probably a good
So
idea.
Oh,
I love
that
this.
would be awesome.
All right. Well, I'm going to
Right.
make sure Dave notes that down. We got to figure something out. Maybe maybe before a feature game, whoever you guys can tie it into your all-star game. Whoever wins there gets the chance of competing on the national scale. Come eat some corn
There
at
you
the
go.
SBS. I like it.
There
Oh
you go.
man, that would be yeah. I'll definitely note that down because in the past, we try to exchange things like rounds of golf at cool golf courses. Now we're gonna just say, hey, bring some corn, and I'll get you a golf course and all that good stuff. But let's talk about Summer Ball Showdown. You guys have been with us for a while, and yeah. So start at the beginning. Like how did it all come together, and why did you choose the Summer Ball Showdown?
We saw your ad out there and we thought, this is a great opportunity. I've played in other national tournaments that I competed in, and it just went for a longer process. We really like the format that you've put together and how the teams are picked early on. And then I like the challenge of that single game elimination and really having to get all your ducks in a row to be where you need to be to win that thing. And I think the competition that you have brought in has been great. It's fun to play teams from all over the country. Um, but again, you make it an experience. And when those kids walk away and they come back to Omaha, all we know is that they had a great time. We try to bring them down there. We do it first class with how we get there, the travel, the food that they get. But the big thing is when they step on the field, that they're representing their families, their school, our league, and they understand that you compete with character on the field, and that competition is great. And we have yet to win that, but the goal is to one day be able to bring it home. And so that's what we're working on right now. And the kids that come here and compete, we feel they're right on the doorstep. So we'll see what happens this coming year.
Yeah, so you guys actually have like an arch nemesis or like your kryptonite in the tournament. What team is that?
You tell me what team that
Oh,
is.
I know what it is, but I want to hear it from you.
Somehow we get paired up against them all the time. But, here's the thing. Uh, my son's got some strategy. He's piecing it together, and we have great games against them. But it could have went either way this year. It just happens.
Yeah.
And what's unfortunate is that I could not be there to watch the game.
Were
I could
you
not.
were you at a concert? Because I know it in
Yeah,
the
he was in the band.
personal side of things, we know you're in a band.
Yeah, I was doing my second hobby, and
was
I was
rocking out.
obligated to be somewhere, and it was an experience for them as well. So I didn't want to let those guys down, and I knew I was leaving the team in good hands with the coaches and Casey there. And I think that's what's going to take the league to the next level is getting more eyes on what's going on. So
I,
that's
I think
important.
everybody's still waiting on you to say who
I
that team
don't
is.
know.
You don't
Yeah.
want to
Every
say the
team
team?
there.
It's like
Every
it's like
team.
you in Michigan. You just don't want to say it out loud. kind of
So
thing.
so somehow, some way, you always see the Park City Rangers. And the one year you did not, you guys were in the top 4.
But the thing is, they're well put together. Their coach does a great job. They're organized, and you know what? Uh, they're a nemesis, just like anything. They're your thorn. You're going to find ways to beat them. The organization's going to do that, and hopefully we match up with them again this year. So we'll see.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
Those have been some of electric games. And obviously you guys bring an awesome team down. Like you're in the running to make it to Sunday, I think
Every year.
dang near every year, right? Like it's well put together, and you can tell that the first couple years, everybody that comes, the first year or two, there's some strategy to it, right? The format, you gotta kind of pair the things the right way in the format to make it as advantageous as for the pieces of it that you can control anyway. And you guys have really kind of bought into that strategy, and that's why you see playing into the weekend in comparison to some teams that obviously get bumped out earlier. But it's been fun to watch because you guys have high level talent. You bring in guys, the coaching staffs know what's going on, and everybody can see kind of how they move, right? And to me as a coach, right, like I think noticing the teams that do things together like you guys do, there's no secret as to why they're as successful in the tournament as they are, right? They eat together, they show up together, they move together. They warm up together, right? Like everything that they're doing is a representation of the culture of what it is that you guys are doing there in Omaha on a day-to-day basis, but then it all kind of cultivates and comes together at the SBS. And I know that other teams see it and they feel threatened. They see the way that you guys move around, like they see all that stuff and they're like, okay, like those dudes mean business. Like when they're here to compete and they're here to get after it. And some teams do it well, some teams struggle in different spots, but you guys do a really good job. Great coaching staffs, super respectful kids, like just top to bottom, just class organization. And, so that part of it is why we love the relationship with you guys, is because you guys are trying to keep us moving forward, right? Like your quality helps our quality continue. And, it's fun to watch that side of things kind of blossom into the, you're right, you guys haven't made it all the way just yet, but if I was a betting man, I would bet that that's right around the corner. If it isn't this year, it's going to be here pretty soon.
Yep. And I tell you, what you're doing and what we're doing, our goal is to develop these players, keep it balanced for the summer, just give the kids the opportunity to understand that we're here for them and we'll help them out any way we can. And like I said, what we're doing is giving them an experience that they're going to remember for the rest of their life. And they're going to be able to pass that on as well. So you guys keep doing what you're doing and growing. And we want to be right there with you doing it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I know the phones are going to start ringing for you and all of that good stuff. So this is your time to kind of talk about what you want to bring in the league. Throw some promo or whatever out there that kids can watch and really embrace what you guys are doing.
Yeah, we're really excited. We have a really good meeting going on today with the Division One program and access to another field here in Omaha. I think the fields that we use for our home parks, a natural surface field, Seymour Smith, we're going to have full access to that field with the city of Omaha. That gives players the opportunity to get on there in the morning, get some extra work in outdoors as well as indoors in the facility. We have Iowa Western's field, which is an all turf field, so any rainouts in that, they're limited. We can get as many games in there, and it's a quality campus, quality field. And then the third is to be on UNO's field, Anderson Field, which is a great field that World Series shares while they're in town as well. So if we have access to those three fields, we feel like the 9 teams are going to be well taken care of here in Omaha, and that players, when they come here to develop, they're going to enjoy their summer experience. So thanks for having me on the show.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
absolutely. I'll definitely let you know when I get it posted up and send you the link. It's that way we can cross collab that and grow Kansas Sports HQ and then your league as well.
Well, that's awesome. Appreciate what you're doing, Dave and Sheldon, and I'll see you guys soon, and I will bring that corn, okay?
Absolutely.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
That'll be a fun little
That'll be
thing to add
awesome.
in there.
All right, you guys have a great rest of your week, okay?
You too,
too.
Joe.
Thanks,
Good
Jeff.
to see you.
All right, take care.
Well, that was awesome.
Big Joe Siwa.
They always send us the email invite to their golf tournament, and it's usually the same day ours is.
Yeah, it's fun to kind of dive into the details between them, because what they're doing, KCLB, is like not carbon copies. There is some differences, obviously. And I think that, we've helped each other. They've helped us. We've helped them, kind of a deal. But it's fun to listen and kind of hear the growth and expansion and that type of thing, because, some of the guys that we recruit from and some of the players that we have, like there's just a good open road for good opportunity for the guys, which is what's the most important to me, is helping guys have those opportunities. And, they do a really good job. They have a little bit more of obviously a centralized approach to it, but when you think of the baseball that they have the opportunity to be around right there, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like having the College World Series in your backyard would be pretty cool. So
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
but yeah, no, it's fun. They're awesome. They probably have the most electric games in SBS history.
Oh, yeah.
And
They do have the longest bomb still.
Like home run?
Yeah.
Oh, they got the longest game, I think, too. Like the one that went
15
into
innings
like,
or
yeah, it was
whatever,
like
yeah.
12 innings or whatever, where we had to cancel the fireworks show. That was
15. It was 15 against you know who.
that was a wild day.
Yeah, it was.
Yep. Guess who had to wait to play after them?
Ah. Did
He's
you really? Right after?
Yeah, that.
That was the craziest game of my life, I think.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
at least being in my shoes there.
past 10:30,
I
couldn't
had
shoot
I had
fireworks.
no
off.
money in my account, but then the paycheck hit like because it was a Thursday night, but going into Friday morning because we didn't start the game till like
It was like 11:40.
yeah, it was close to midnight. But
He was like, I can go to the concession
yeah, I
stand."
went and grabbed like 2 beers before the game. Yeah. I was like, all
This
right.
sucks.
I was like, there was an inning 11 showing or 12, whatever it was, it's showing no signs of stopping. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go
Yeah, it was a wild game
grab some
for sure.
Coors Light. It was pretty
That
cool.
was
Would have
the-
been sweet if we could have done the fireworks afterwards, because that would have just been
That
the
was just-
biggest fireworks show.
Should
ever.
have.
Yeah,
I mean, our 2 coaches, I'm pretty sure got ejected from that game too. that next one.
Afterwards?
Oh, then when we were playing that right after their game.
Oh, I don't.
I don't remember.
Both of
I
them
just
got ejected.
I just
I was
remember
blacked
I
out
couldn't
trying to take care of Randy.
I just couldn't do the fireworks because it would have been a $10,000 fine at 10:31.
You guys didn't want to let them know that Park City had a coaching change.
Nope.
Let him sweat.
Yeah.
Let him
There's just-
sweat all summer.
I love that you called out like the rivalry that the words that I don't say, and he just wouldn't get it there.
That's
I mean,
cool. It's cool.
Is that who
Yeah.
beat him out last year too?
every year that
Yeah.
Really?
every year except for when they went to the Final Four. They were in the semis and lost.
Who did they lose to that year?
I'd have to go back and look, but it wasn't the Rangers. The
Oh.
Rangers didn't make it that far.
Not that year.
Well, because they played him on Sunday this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was them. Yeah,
I think it
'Cause
was.
you guys.
Well,
were playing the Heat.
no, they weren't. No, that would have been 2 years ago.
Or it was FSP. Sorry.
Yeah,
2
yeah.
years ago it was
2 years.
Omaha.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago was the only time they made it to
Did
Sunday.
they
Yeah.
lose to
Yeah.
the Heat then, or did they lose to Texas Army? Would have been one of those 2 teams, right?
I'm guessing it was probably
No, because Texas Army played the Heat Saturday night this last year.
No,
yeah,
but you were talking about last year when they made the
2 years
semifinals.
ago.
2 years.
2 years
yeah.
ago. I don't remember who.
yeah.
I'd have to look back at that.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to go back and look at the bracket, the history on the website, summerballshowdown.com. And if you're listening to this and you have a team that plays summer collegiate baseball and whatnot, feel free to reach out to us, summerballshowdown@gmail.com. Happy to get you some information. It's a 5-day national tournament bringing in teams from all over the country with players from all over the world. It's 5 days of summer fun with a lot of community things. Chick-fil-A does a home run derby for the players. If you're a team from out of state, we feed you 2 meals at the ballpark for free, lunch and dinner through our food partners, and we're grateful for those partnerships. And there's just so many fun things to be involved in. And now we're going to have a corn cob eating
There you go.
contest brought to you by the Corn Belt League.
Yeah, let us know if you want to come catch these stingers from the Dobbs.
He's alive.
Little corn belt thing would be kind of fun to do though. Like
Yeah.
just I don't know, we'll have to think that through. But that would be like a fun
Was
fan engagement thing.
Yeah.
was interesting just hearing about the league. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people who aren't from Omaha think, the same thing they would think if they're come to Kansas. There's not anything, but obviously Omaha's a huge city.
Yeah.
And and you have a legit like big city downtown, and you got a couple universities there. There's Creighton, there's UNO, and then you also have, like he said, too, Iowa Western right across the river, and Council Bluffs too. So you have a lot of good fields, and I mean, you just heard him. You talking about 2 or 3 different facilities they have access to as well. I mean, it's they're I almost told him to stop talking because like if if any KCLB guy
Rub it in. right?
like a bunch of people, if there's a random kid, hey, KCLB has stuff too. Just
Yes,
say
we do.
Yeah. I mean,
We got
being able to
Ours
go,
is fun. Okay?
go to the College World Series and
Well, yeah,
experience
I
that.
mean,
That's
yeah, like that's right there in June, and you pop on over there. You work to play, and
be security there.
they've turned that entire like College World Series week into one big long party too. That
yeah.
entire block,
The
and
Haymarket.
because they've taken down. Was it? Well, they took out like instead of having a parking lot down there, they just first of all they made a bridge to the bridge to get across the river, which is nice. So there's more parking. Park across the river, walk the mile long bridge, and then get on the bridge. So you're not like because it used to be a really long walk from the stadium to the bridge before it was the mile walk back across. Anyway, but then they cleared out more parking space and then put some extra stuff up there to make just that just huge party all weekend. Like I went
A little village.
like
And their zoo's like top 5 in the world.
oh yeah, it's we
I haven't been to the new
we used to go
stadium. I
there.
went to Rosenblatt once.
Yeah, we went there too back when the Omaha Royals used to play there. But I guess they do have the Storm Chasers there as well. You can go to.
There's a lot of baseball there.
Yeah,
like a lot of baseball.
AAA Royals team is still there. They're out. They're kind of out on the outskirts of town, but it's a really cool place, and I'm sure they got a lot of really good high school fields they can always go to as well. Because there's a lot of talent there too, just in the Omaha area for every sport: football, basketball, baseball,
Golf.
You know,
I think Nebraska has more golf courses than most places too.
probably.
Could only
you
imagine.
have a ton of just little communities that are because most of the population of Nebraska is obviously from Omaha and Lincoln, and it's like just tiny towns the rest of the way. And I mean,
Nobody ever talks about Western Nebraska.
it's still pretty. I mean, it's a lot of ranch land out there. A lot of ranch
I've
land.
been to Scotts Bluff like 3 or 4 times.
Obviously,
Just-
everybody has.
Just it's it smells like sugar and manure or what they like to say
I
money.
think I've only been to Omaha. I don't think I've been anywhere else in Nebraska.
Oh wow.
No, when I go up to
Montana or Wyoming, you have to go through Scotts
well,
Bluff.
you know, obviously when I venture up
You
there,
can go over there.
you know,
Just spend a couple
detour.
weekends.
Yeah. Well, I like my family
Looking for
lives
elk.
a lot of my family lives in Council Bluffs. So I go up through southern Nebraska a lot, and sometimes go through Lincoln and stuff. So it's very similar to Kansas and Iowa.
A little I-80
Yeah. If I go straight up north, I do that. But
north through York.
Yep.
And
then, but yeah, I think they got some really cool stuff going on there, and it's cool that
the
it's cool
biolab thing was pretty cool to hear.
Yeah. Because well, I mean,
I wonder what that costs.
it would be interesting. Well, like I know
Because we've done different styles of things, but you're not
Right.
going up to do that for free. There's no way.
I mean, if we can, it's just
Especially
knows?
in
I mean, it
those
just-
kind of facilities.
It just
like
gets
they're-
us gets the gears going to see what kind of partnership we can pull off with, maybe WSU or something like that.
yeah, and try to.
Sean, do you know anybody over there?
Not really. Man, I know a few people, but it's
They don't have that though.
right.
Like,
I mean,
don't-
they have their indoor facility, and they have some stuff in there, I'm sure, but I've never been in there indoor.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like it's something it's the rave now, the arm care, and if you can find something like that, or if we can find some sort of partnership or whatever to do it here, it'd be great. But it's the logistics and obviously everything else there is challenging. But anywho, figured I'd get some words in here since I didn't say one thing during the interview. No big deal. It's fine. It's whatever.
Is it because it was Nebraska?
No, I had questions.
Just didn't ask him.
Tried.
Oh,
This is me every time.
well,
No,
just say it.
just get
I'll
in it.
stop talking.
No.
Interrupt.
Well,
Nice.
Y'all have your
that?
questions. It's whatever. It's fine.
I make up my questions.
I
on the
literally
spot.
Yeah, on the
literally
fly.
could have not even joined, and nobody would have heard the difference at all.
until the end
until the end.
when it
whatever.
matters most.
Yeah, I said, but and that's it's not what it. Just if it's gonna be one of those days, let me know. I'll go finish my lift a little bit more. And,
More
No,
turf
no.
time. Not usually. It's not
Okay.
usually part of the thing. You just got to interject.
Nope.
But
won't do it.
anyways, so what a great conversation for the Corn Belt League out of Omaha, Nebraska. And now, Sean, can we turn it over to you for a prayer? Please.
Can we? Yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for your grace. Just each and every day we're able to wake up and enjoy what you've created. And having conversations like these with people, like-minded people, trying to serve other people and make the best possible experience for other people. So just so fun to conversate and talk about these things because Lord, I just pray that ultimately we're trying to glorify you and walk closer to you in all that we do. And the more we work on serving other people, I believe we can kind of try to reach that. Lord, I just pray to be with that league and all the athletes in there that they have, their teams are getting figured out and they have a safe summer and they get back down here safely for the SBS and we have a great time, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Well, that is it for episode 43. Corn Belt League Commissioner Joe Siwa. We'll see you guys next time.
Siwa.